hey, I really enjoy y'all's most.
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya, D-Mac. Hold on, Matt Ryan. D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
wide
it?
Open again. All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
So everyone seems to have an opinion on this coaching search. Fans, media members, whoever. Jim seems to know who the next guy's going to be. Tom would bet his pension that Arkansas hires someone connected to the program. Bob wants an up-and-comer. Will doesn't care about the integrity of the next man up. He just wants wins. You got all this speculation flying, all this wondering, so many options that people keep on dreaming about, keep on thinking about. When is it going to happen? When does Hunter Yurachek get his guy? When does Arkansas hire their next football coach? That's the question we'll be asking today. That is our halftime poll question. Matty T, you in here with me. I'm Ty Richardson. We've been telling you all week, Phil is either flying to the Bahamas or he is currently in the Bahamas right now, so he will be out of touch until next Monday. Hope he has a safe trip down there.
It's for work, right?
Yeah, he's doing the...
It's a business trip.
Yeah, business trip. It's not for pleasure. It's for work.
No, not at all.
He's got the...
How could you possibly find pleasure?
Yeah, he's just going to have a tough time to have fun down there in the Bahamas. He is doing the Arkansas women's basketball games down there. He has been traveling for Thanksgiving for quite some time, so that is what he'll be doing on this weekend. So we're going to get into a bunch of coaching search talk. We're going to hear what Barry Switzer, former Arkansas player, thinks, who he thinks that they should go after. We're going to hear what Barry Lenny Jr., what he thinks the qualifications should be for the next Arkansas head football coach. We're going to talk Missouri and so much more. But Matty T is our residential movie guru, and it is Thanksgiving. So I come in this morning, I'm in a really good mood. I wake up a little before 4:46. I do my prep. I'm getting ready for the show. Rita made these fantastic Indian tacos today. So I was in a really good mood. And so I get there, I'm talking with Lance, who's our sales manager here. John strolls in and just starts dogging me for asking the question where I should meet up with buddies tonight in Little Rock. Because the things you think of for Thanksgiving are family, football, food, and friends. And this today, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving,
That's Friends Day?
Is known as Drinksgiving. Oh. This is a big holiday that people would compare only to New Year's and 4th of July. Those are kind of the three residential drinking holidays where you and your buddies are free to have a good time. And so I plan on spending a lot of time with my family this weekend. I'm going to spend pretty much all day with them until late tonight when they go to bed. And then, obviously, Thanksgiving, I'll eat with them, hang out all day with them tomorrow. I'm going to help my parents move into their new house. And then on Friday, I'll be going to the Arkansas game, see my parents then also be hanging out with my aunt or grandma and doing stuff, and then going to Bedlam on Saturday with my aunt, who is an Oklahoma State graduate. And so John and Tommy just start giving me crap for the fact that I'm going to see my friends, who my parents, by the way, Matty T, are already going to be in bed by about 9:30 tonight.
So it's not like you're ditching them.
I'm not ditching them, but apparently me going to have a few drinks with some buds after my parents have fallen asleep is a no-no. And so they're just giving me a hard time for that. And then on top of that, I go to Aldi yesterday. I get Diet Coke, Sprite, and whatever their off-brand.
I was gonna say,
Doctor.
Did you get the off-brand Aldi? There you
Dr.
go.
Dazzle.
I've got their version of Diet Coke in the other room.
And so I was thinking, okay, that's a good selection. And then John and Tommy start giving to me again. It's like, you didn't get Coke Zero? You got to remember,
they're elitists.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought, I guess Diet Coke is sufficient enough. And I'm thinking 4 different types of soft drinks. That's good enough, right?
It is.
But apparently, if I don't have Coke Zero, it's not a soft drink.
I don't think they have a version of Coke Zero there. You got to go to Walmart and get their Sam's
I guess
Club.
so. I've heard Tommy and John talk about Coke Zero before, but I didn't know that their loyalty to Coke Zero was so giant that they weren't going to drink anything else besides that.
They're too loyal. Like when we've gone to a local restaurant that, God forbid, doesn't have Coke Zero, they'll drink water. So
I
like Coke Zero, better than Diet Coke. But
Yeah.
if Diet Coke's the only thing available, I'm fine drinking.
Maybe it's because their metabolism slowed down a little bit because they're older. But I'm 24, so I can pretty much eat and drink whatever I want. I don't think of it now. I try to somewhat eat healthy during the week, but they acted like I killed their dog this morning when I didn't bring in Coke Zero. So I already got those 2 strikes against me. One for wanting to hang out with my friends, not missing out in any family time, but hanging out in the one period that my family will be asleep and then be up bright and early to help them move, because that's the type of kid I am. I'm going to wake up potentially hungover to help my dad and stepmom move into their new house.
Well, you can wake up bright and early sober, maybe go to bed early and be extra.
Yeah, but it's Thanksgiving. We'll see.
It's Thanksgiving.
So, Matty T, before we let you go, it is Thanksgiving. We obviously mentioned
also known as Banksgiving.
Yeah, Banksgiving as dubbed by Tommy Kraft, not the Arkansas marketing department. That was Tommy's thing, and they took it.
We have proof. We've got screenshots.
Timestamps. Yeah, exactly, absolutely. So. And then also, other thing that Arkansas did that ticked me off, John creates the Titanic music on top of the Mason Jones game-winning bed, and they copied it, and they put it up. So they've taken 2 things from our prestigious coworkers this week.
There's absolutely no integrity there.
Tommy's phrase, Banksgiving, and I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek, not really carry that much, and then also John's Titanic theme. And I watched him put it up a good couple hours before the Arkansas account put it up. No tag, no retweet, no quote tweet, no anything like that. They put up their own thing, even though it was pretty sure it was the exact same camera angle and everything. Everything that John did, they just did in their own way because they want all the glory.
We've got a lot of great ideas here if you need them.
Yeah, and I'm just joking around because the Arkansas basketball team, their marketing side, their video coordinator, O'Reilly's up there. They've done a fantastic job with everything they've done. I'd just like to give them a little bit of a hard time.
Yeah, but in humor, there's always a bit of truth.
Exactly. All right, so, Matty T, you gave me 2 movies this week. One's not really a Thanksgiving movie.
No,
one is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a movie that I have not seen, but you want me to watch it since Thanksgiving this week.
Yes, and there's not a whole lot of movies that take place at Thanksgiving. You got Sin of a Woman. Have you seen that?
That's a fantastic. Al Pacino. So, what's the guy?
Chris O'Donnell.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's one. But to me, this is one it's mandatory watching each year. And I watched it Sunday night with a friend, and so it's John Candy, Steve Martin. Steve Martin's got to get back home to Chicago, to be with his family, and he meets up with John Candy here. And
sounds like Home Alone with Kevin Spacey.
Well, it's also a John Hughes movie.
Okay.
And John Candy was also in Uncle Buck, and it's got a little bit of a, that kind of feel. So you're familiar with the John Hughes movies, you'll be right at home with this. So.
Okay.
But to me, it's mandatory watching. But when I brought it up to you, you said, no, I've never seen it. I said, well, it's kind of, road trip, it predates Tommy Boy, and you say, I haven't seen Tommy Boy either. And that just broke my heart because Tommy Boy is an absolute, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is good, but Tommy Boy, it's ultimate
better.
Classic.
So what are some other Thanksgiving movies I should watch?
Well, Dutch is one. So Dutch stars the Al Bundy. Sorry, we got sidetracked here. Dutch with it's sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Dutch with what?
It's another road trip movie.
You okay?
I got I didn't know what we were doing over here.
No, you're good. Go ahead. So it's another road trip movie. It's got the guy that's
Ed O'Neill.
Yeah.
And he's picking up his wife's kid from boarding school, and so they have a back and forth across town, across the country, and
it's one of those things that I also have to watch as well. Okay. So yeah, there's not a lot of Thanksgiving. I was looking it up there, like Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I feel like that's just associated with like every holiday, and then you have the movies you just listed. There's the Friends episodes. I think Seinfeld's got a couple episodes that you watch around this time, but there's no like really, really strong thing you want to watch in Thanksgiving. It's not like Christmas when there's so many movies you can pick from.
Now people start early with Home Alone and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. To me, though, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the one you watch before you start all those.
Okay. So it's like the prequel to all the other stuff?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But it's got a nice balance of comedy and emotion too, and that's why I was hoping you would have seen it,
Yeah, I know.
Get your reaction.
Here's the thing, John. And again, this is John's Xbox, so he can kind of do what he wants with it. I was like, "Do you want to watch any of these?" He started playing a new Star Wars game, so it's like I can't really tell him what to do on his own Xbox. So that's kind of what I was dealing with on that. But I am gonna watch it. They're sitting out, so I'm probably gonna watch it on Sunday, at some point in time. But yeah. So all right, Matty T, thanks for doing first seg. Go get you some food, man.
We're having a Thanksgiving celebration.
Yeah, like I said, Rita made Indian tacos. We got a dip contest where Rick Hundley and Ben Thomas at World of Wireless are judging. I think Officer Breeden might make an appearance too. We'll get to some coaching talk search on the other side of the break, though. Who does Barry Switzer, former Arkansas player, former Oklahoma and Cowboys coach, who does he think the Razorbacks should hire? That's next on Halftime. ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
When in doubt, expense it. You're listening to Halftime. This is the Morning Rush.
I get sick and tired of hearing all these national media members think that Arkansas was wrong for firing Chad Morris. Do they watch this season at all? Do they watch any games this year? Arkansas lost to San Jose State at home. They lost to Western Kentucky, got blown out by them at home. I don't know what team they've been watching this season, but to me it is completely and totally justifiable for firing Chad Morris.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
It's the place there's no place else like. Home. It's the circle of chairs around your fire pit, where all the do you remembers get passed around like bowls of ice cream. It's bacon and eggs in the skillet, crackling along with the laughter. It's the picture in the hall of your great-grandfather, whose mustache he willed to your son.
At Shelter Insurance, we don't just insure your home, we insure all the memories that live inside it. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Marcia Cox in Fort Smith or Phil Hicks in Greenwood about Shelter's home insurance.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers has the absolute best bacon in town. Why, you ask? Because Art's Barbecue and Burgers brines, then smokes their own bacon in-house. Try the BLT with a side of your choice, or have bacon added to any sandwich at Art's, including any of their great burgers or barbecue sandwiches. Hickory smoked, life-changing bacon. Add it to any sandwich or entree at Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
Metal Direct offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Direct assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by their location at 7420 Inmar Drive in Little Rock, 1 block off University behind Napa Auto Parts, or call them at 501-562-3112. Metal Direct, the right material for the right price.
Tired of all the broken promises and broken equipment at your current gym? The Fort Smith Athletic Club is the nicest and most well-equipped fitness and tennis club in the area, with a state-of-the-art fitness center, Pilates, fitness classes, personal and group training, and the best tennis facilities in the region. 7 outdoor courts, 5 indoor courts, plus pickleball and racquetball courts, and free childcare is included. The Fort Smith Athletic Club. Call 452-4031 for membership information.
Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all repairs. Paintless Dent Repair, door dings, unsightly dents, and hail damage repair, all repaired to like new conditions. With over 1 million repaired vehicles with satisfied customers, Michael Littleton is the expert in paintless repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, conveniently located 3 miles from the Arcoma exit off Highway 112. Or call 479-461-9764. Your #1 Arkansas fan.
It's getting colder outside. Did you know you could save up to 60% on your heating bill by converting to safe, reliable natural gas from AOG? The savings can actually pay for your conversion cost. So why pay more to heat your home and water? The convenience and abundant supply of American-produced natural gas makes it the right choice. Call AOG or visit AOGC.com and switch to natural gas today. AOG, energy for life.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Joe to Jones. Got to hurry now. 3, 2, 1. Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a 3 with 0.1 seconds to play. Arkansas's got the lead 62-61. Prayer answered, and the Hogs are up by a point.
Man, that Chuck Barrett, it doesn't get old. What a shot for Mason Jones. Had a little luck involved, as we talked about yesterday. That's okay. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So Arkansas-born Barry Switzer, who was on the 1964 national championship team, was also a coach at one time at Arkansas, born in Crossett. He was talking about on the O'Colly podcast who Arkansas should target as their number one guy. I'll tell you about that in just a sec. First, I want to tell you about Breenan RV right now. Happy holidays from Breenan RV, where their end of the year clearance sale is continuing. Holidays can be stressful, and they want to take that stress away with a new or used RV. They're going to even jingle your bells by letting you pick your deal. Sales tax paid, no payments for 6 months, holiday cash back, more for your trade. You choose the deal that's best for you. And remember, every new RV comes with Breenan's exclusive maintenance for life. Come see us at Breenan RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren, or visit us on the web at BreenanRVs.com. So here's what Barry Switzer had to say on the O'Colly podcast concerning who Arkansas should target as their number one guy.
I don't know if they can get him. I don't know if he'd be an interesting job, but the best guy out there, Mike Leach, because he has instant credibility. He's won everywhere he's been. He's taken second division clubs and made them winners. He's done it at Texas Tech. He's done it at Washington State. And quarterbacks and receivers all around the country, high school coming out, they know what he's like. They know his reputation. And that's where they want to go to school, where they can throw the football and do the things that Mike Leach does. That's the guy that's the best offensive coach out there. He coached Lincoln Riley. He coached eight guys on the Oklahoma staff were proteges of Mike Leach. So he's my number one pick out there.
Phil texted me last night with a great point. You think about the Broyles Award, divvied out to the best assistant coach in college football every year. And Arkansas has had some phenomenal assistant coaches come through the program before, but lately it hasn't been the case. Now, in terms of recruiting, Chad Morris's staff did a really good job. They've got in some players, but you can't just stop there when it comes to recruiting. You got to develop, you got to make in-game coaching decisions and stuff. And if you look at the Mike Leach coaching and players tree, it's long and it's lustrous. Look at this. Seth Luttrell, current North Texas coach. Cliff Kingsbury, current coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Graham Harrell, who's the USC offensive coordinator. He is the quarterback, if you remember, threw that touchdown to Michael Crabtree against Texas. They ended up winning that game. Josh Heupel, current UCF coach. Dana Holgerson at Houston. Lincoln Riley, Neil Brown, Oklahoma, West Virginia. Those are some of his players. Then also, Dave Aranda. Dave Aranda, the DC at LSU, was on his staff. I didn't know that, and I don't know how much credit you can give Leach for his excellence on defense, but I would think he'd have to pick up something because of how tremendous Mike Leach is on the offensive side of the football, that in a way he's having to combat everything else. Dino Babers under his tree. Art Briles, Sonny Dykes at SMU. The list it goes on a little bit more, but we're going to end it there. That is a lot of big-time college football names that resonate with you listeners. That they have either played or coached under Mike Leach. So he has that tree background. He has that. You talk about a program that's struggling financially a little bit. Yes, they were able to fire Chad Morris. They're going to pay his buyout. We know the stop payments with Bielema. We'll see what happens in that upcoming court case. Don't know how long it's going to last. But they need to get a coach that puts butts in seats. Mike Leach would do that. Now, he's not going to get along with every single board region. He's not going to get along with every single big-time booster. But he relates to the common fan, and that's big. And he is going to put Arkansas Razorback fans in those seats in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium and in Little Rock, which he, to this day, says is the loudest place he's ever played when he was at Kentucky. So that's kind of interesting now, which, again, they'll play on Friday against Missouri at 1:30 for the Battle Line rivalry, presented by Shelter Insurance, as they always say. Fayetteville's a little more attractive place to recruit to than Pullman, Washington, where he's at now, and Lubbock, Texas. Now, I know it's more difficult in the SEC, and you're having to fight other guys off for better recruits and stuff, and the talent is way more, but at least he's recruited Texas. And the name Mike Leach with offensive players, high school-wise, they know that coach. They know who that is. They know some of the statistics and the numbers that his players have put up. Look at Luke Falk. Look at Gardner Minshew. I think it's Anthony Edwards is their quarterback. I can't. Phil always mentions him, and I can't remember his name this year. But look at Graham Harrell. Look at some of the other studs he's coached, Michael Crabtree, and on. He's had some really good players that have played on the offensive side of the ball. Now, we know that you can't compete in the SEC giving up 50 points a game. If you remember back in 2017 when Alex Greenwich, who many people don't know who that is, I know our buddy Brett Inspiro knows who that is. He's the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma right now. He was the co-DC at Ohio State, and he was also, I can't remember if he was an assistant or he was a DC. I'm pretty sure he was the DC at Washington State. Really good DC, a younger guy. You have to give Mike Leach the allowance, if you will, to go out and hire a good defensive staff and a good offensive staff for that matter, which I think it'll be a lot more easy for him to do that. But the defensive side of the football is going to be instrumental if you hire a offensive guy. You tried it with John Chavis. It didn't work. I'll give you a stat on the Arkansas scoring defense in the upcoming program. But you have to hire a full staff. Mike Leach has shown the ability to have good assistants under him. You need that to continue at Arkansas if you ultimately elect Mike Leach as your next head coach. And I don't know if he'd be willing to come. He's got it making about $4 million at Washington State right now. His buyout figures, it's in the million mark range. I think it's closer to $2 million. What his buyout is, it was rangy depending on the year. Look that up. But here's a guy that just success just flows with him wherever he goes. Look at what he did at Texas Tech. 11 straight winning seasons. 3 9-win seasons, 1 11-win season, that 2009 year where they tied with Oklahoma and Texas for the Big 12. Oklahoma ended up going that year. I think that's the year they crushed. I want to say that's the year they crushed Missouri in that Big 12 championship game. They beat Texas Tech pretty good that year too because Texas Tech just could not stop them defensively. Really successful in Lubbock, Texas, of all places. Then he goes to Washington State. He's got 6 bowl wins. He's got a 2-win and a 9-win season. And if you look at what Washington State was before he got there, 8 straight losing seasons. And I think one of the requirements that a bunch of Arkansas fans are asking for is a coach that knows how to rebuild. Well, I'd say what he's been able to do at Pullman, Washington, I know they're 6-5 this year and they hadn't had their best season. I'd say that's pretty good. And you could argue that the fact that they're not that good this year would help you in terms of you having a better chance to get Mike Leach. Now, I have no idea what he's thinking. I have no connection to his agent. I have no connection to Washington State whatsoever, so I can't tell you one way or another if he would consider coming to Arkansas. But I think he would work because he's unorthodox in his methods, and I think one of the questions you'd ask, and I think it's a fair question based on the history of Arkansas football, he's never really shown the ability to have really strong running games in his tenure. Passing. They've been pass happy. Arkansas traditionally has had their better football teams when they can run. And you may say, oh, Ty, look at 2010, 2011, Bobby Butrino. They had some strong running games with Niall Davis and Dennis Johnson and Broderick Green in them. Think 2010 LSU when LSU could not stop you when you kept on running the football down their throats. I think Arkansas, to some extent, needs to be able to run the football. I don't know how much, and you have to be able to run the football in the SEC, so maybe he can adapt to that. Again, I don't know because it's been a while. He's only been an assistant in the SEC. He's never actually coached as a head coach in the SEC. So it's hard to determine. It's hard to guess if his system would work. We don't know. You don't know until you find out. But I think he has more pros associated with him than he does cons. Again, that's time will tell. We'll see if he's even in the running. Probably won't actually know who's in the running because I think, like every other AD, whoever they end up hiring, it's like, oh, he was their number one guy the whole time, blah, blah, blah. That just happens in collegiate sports. You remember the late, great Frank Broyles, his philosophy was whoever they hired, that was their main guy, even though there were times during the Razorbacks' tenure in football and basketball that it wasn't the case. But you would at least want to present it from a PR perspective that way, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how it is. All right, we're brought to you in part by the Fence Man. Fence Man Friday football picks have been going pretty good. I think John's actually ahead of everyone on that in the morning rush. Do you own a business that needs more security or just more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man is perfect this holiday season. Custom installations, they've been doing it for over 40 years. Whether it's gates, controlled access card readers, call the Fence Man for a no obligations quote. 479-782-3936. That's Henry at 782-3936. The Fenceman is a division of Quantum Property Services. All right, we're going to get some insight from one of the best insiders of Razorback Sports. That's Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated. Next, get some coaching search talk. We'll talk a little Mizzou, talk some other stuff. Ask him about Thanksgiving plans. What's Clay Henry doing this weekend for Thanksgiving? That's coming up on Halftime. ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
Good coaches win. Great coaches cover. This is Halftime.
Eagle Crest Golf Course is open, and winter rates are now in effect. Just $35 to enjoy Eagle Crest Golf Course, card included. Winter rates are back, and Eagle Crest is ready for you. Lush zoysia fairways, beautiful bent grass greens, and the best views in the River Valley. Just $35, card included. So get your golf buddies together and head to Eagle Crest Golf Course. Winter rates just $35. Eagle Crest Golf Course, Highway 64, just east of Alma.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
The list of things I rely on is short. There's my recliner, the lawnmower, the kid sitter, and above all, Michelin tires. Get the tire that's ready to make every stop in every season. And for a limited time, get yours with a $70 reward card after submission when you buy a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Your Michelin tires and savings are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. See MichelinMan.com promo for complete details. Offer valid between 11/13/2019 and 12/13/2019. Void where prohibited.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family, and the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest wine selection in the River Valley, await your memorable evening. If you're thinking about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress and bring a smile to their face. Don't delay making your reservations. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 3rd Street. Open 5 till 9 Monday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
At Chambers Bank, our Arkansas roots grow deep, and you can trust us as your partner for every banking need. From a simple checking account to your first home loan, whatever you need, big or small, we are here for you. With 18 convenient branches throughout the state and a full suite of online banking options, we will always be available when you need us. Family owned in Arkansas since 1930, Chambers is your full-service community bank. Bank with trust at Chambers Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 631520.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown!
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts, we're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
He's going to heave it to the other end. Joe intercepts it. Arkansas wins. Arkansas wins as Mason Jones hits the three. The Razorbacks are 6-0. What a finish in overtime in Atlanta.
Back on Halftime, ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. We're going to be joined by Clay Henry of Hogs Illustrated, publisher of Hogs Illustrated. Just a sec. We've been talking a lot about Thanksgiving, but for those who have not heard about this, we're giving away a Branson Christmas trip on hitthatline.com, courtesy of the Branson Convention and Visitors Bureau. And y'all, you get a ton with this. 3 nights at the Hilton Hotel in Branson, tickets to a Christmas show, North Pole Adventure in Shepherd Hills Park, a Christmas music Ferris wheel ride from the Track Family Fun Park, plus Branson restaurant gift cards. Go to hitthatline.com. It's the very front page. You'll see a black tab with white lettering that says win a Branson Christmas trip. All you got to do, phone number, email, you got to be 21 or older, and you are good to go. You can do this once a day, and you can register up to December 10th. Again, this is a Christmas trip you do not want to miss out on at hitthatline.com. We're joined now by Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated. And Clay, during the break, we were talking about the meat you're going to be cooking for the family that's coming in town tomorrow.
Yep, I'm the meat guy for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm a grilling smoker, novice guy. I mean, dabbling in that for the last 20 years, 25 years, and got certain things I can do okay. I will say Tommy Kraft with his green egg is really, he's really good with those pork butts and stuff. But I go a little different direction. I've got a couple of Weber bullets. I think that's what they call them. They're Smoky Mountain cookers, and they're really good at. They look like a bullet. They're black. Don't be confused by the Brinkmans. These are the real deal, ceramic, and you really shuts down the airflow, and you control the temperature, and you can cook for at 225, 250 with one batch of fuel for about 8 hours. So you can really do some damage with those babies. And then I've got a PK grill, portable kitchen, and it's a kind of a rectangle shape, and you can put the fuel on one side, so then you can smoke on the other side. And I like to do some ribs over on that side. And that's a good way to go. And they break down, both of them break down, and you can haul them to like campsites. And so that's a lot of fun, to go to a fishing camp or a duck camp or whatever. There was really one interesting place that I used my bullet. There, over on the Black River, a friend of mine has a cabin that when the Black River floods, then it's on stilts, and you have to boat in, and so there's water underneath you, and we tethered the boat to the we hauled in the smoker, and I set it up on the steps of just above the water line, and so we smoked on the steps for at a duck camp weekend. I did ribs one night and chickens the next night. So yeah, so I have a lot of fun with that, and I will smoke 2 whole chickens tomorrow for our group. And I used to do turkeys, but it takes a lot longer for a turkey. You can do 2 chickens a little quicker, and when you get it to 165, it's about 3.5 hours cooking at 225.
I think
is that enough on that?
Oh no, my mouth's watering right now just talking about it.
I use some cherry wood chips for the smoke. Soak them in water and throw those chips on there, and you get a good smoke to it. Not a heavy smoke. That's a mild taste, and that chicken will, we'll have it moist and warm tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll probably have some sandwiches tomorrow night. And with 2 chickens, you've got 4 drumsticks, and there's some of our crew that like the drumsticks. So that's a lot. I like the dark meat of the chicken too. So most people they're going for the white meat, but I like the juicy dark meat too.
You can kind of luck out when it comes to getting more of your fair share when it comes to that.
Yep.
So, Clay, you said you were listening to the show a little bit. I don't know if you caught the conversation when we were talking about Barry Switzer, a guy used to cover at the Tulsa World. He said in a podcast, on the O'Colly podcast, that Mike Leach would be his -- target. What are your thoughts on that, Clay?
Well, that's Barry, knowing him from when Leach was at OU, and he's an interesting character, and he would provide a lot of flavor to the Arkansas job. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different layers to Leach. There's the football coach that they're gonna fling it around, and he's gonna have a down the field passing attack, vertical passing attack, and he's that's gonna be 75% throwing, and there'll be a lot of people that like that, and he's good at that. His defenses have not been terrific. They've been up and down. They've a little bit better of late at Washington State, but by and large, his deal is he's going to outscore you, or at least that's what he's going to try to do. And he's had some success, and then he's had some years where didn't quite have the talent to do some of the things that he likes to do, and they're not as good. But you would have some up years at Arkansas, and then you would probably have some years not so good. But he is a proven coach, and what I just said that's one layer. Then there's the other layer that he's a little bit off center in some of his thoughts and how he expresses them, and sometimes there'll be a part of the fan base that won't like it, and it could be anything. It could, it's just gonna whatever's simmering just under the top is going to come out. And when I'm talking about that, it could be political, it could be something with his players, it could be something on the other team, it could be a commentary about mascots, it could be anything. And every once in a while he'll say something that you have to just wish the coach at the University of Arkansas didn't say that. But that's part of what you get with Leach. And I know without question Barry Switzer, none of that bothers him. I mean, it is, he's more out there and prone to say just about anything that's on his mind. It's just like if it's there, he's going to blurt it out. So that part about Leach won't bother him. And so he's seen him up close and personal when he was, in operation at Oklahoma. He's a guy that, hey, he might walk to work. He wave at everybody, talk to everybody. He walk across campus, from through Dixon Street. And I don't mean he hangs out on Dixon Street, but I mean that's wherever he lives. If there's a way, he might just walk to work, and it might be that he's walking to work at 9 a.m. and you think, well, why are all the other coaches around the country working at 7 a.m. and he's not? Well, that's just Mike Leach. And you have to decide whether that's, you're going to tolerate that. And if just like there were people that didn't like it that Chad Morris would fly out on Friday afternoon to see his son play in Dallas, it was criticism. There'll be criticism when they lose. Well, he's not working the same hours as the rest of the coaches. So that will all be out there if you go with Mike Leach. And that's, there's a lot of people that want that. And there's, it's a polarizing deal that there are some that won't like it. And there's some that didn't like it at Texas Tech. And there's some that don't like some of the things that go with Mike Leach at Washington State. So, that's a long take of Mike Leach. He would give you something to write about and you and I to talk about every day.
I think we'd appreciate it. I don't know about the fan base, and we'd see what happened. Clay, we got about 30 or 45 seconds. based on the reception that Eric Musselman has got at Arkansas, that's Hunter Yurachek's guy. Do you think Hunter's going to be given the benefit of the doubt with whoever he hires based on what looks to be successful basketball coach hire?
No, I think the football coach will stand alone, just like the gymnastics coach that he hired that had never been a head coach, Jordan Weber. Eric Musselman right now, hey, it's we're in the first month of the season. He hasn't lost. He's going to lose because I guarantee you Mason Jones ain't going to keep banking them in on the road. But, yeah, every hire will stand alone, and football is more important than anything else.
Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, kind enough to join us on Halftime every Wednesday at 12:30. Clay, enjoy Thanksgiving with your family. Hope you cook those or smoke those chickens just right, my man.
Thank you very much. Come on over, and we'll save you a drumstick.
Thanks, Clay. Yeah. Clay, that was a good take on Mike Leach. That's interesting. I think, to Clay's point, I want to say he lives like on Washington State's campus in Pullman or like right next to it. I think when he said that, that'd be interesting if he would like try to get one of those houses, which is like student housing in Fayetteville. I don't know if he would, but at least be something to talk about. All right, next, who does Barry Lunny Jr. think Arkansas should hire? That's next on Halftime. ESPN Arkansas, hitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Halftime.
Our Black Friday event continues this week at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren. Hi, this is David Neal inviting you to save over 25% on a new 2019 Silverado Z71. That's up to $13,000 in savings and save up to $6,000 on new Chevy Blazers. And I'd like to personally invite you to come in this Friday for free food and soft drinks to let us say thank you for your business. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. Find new roads.
See dealer for details.
Frank Roll Furniture's Black Friday sale will be opening Thanksgiving Day at 2 p.m. and regular hours on Friday and Saturday for a 3-day Black Friday super sale. 5-piece queen bedroom suits $5.99, 5-piece king bedroom suits $6.99, black or white kids soccer beds $50, glider rockers and regular recliners $150 while supplies last. Customers with purchase of $1,000 more will receive a free 32-inch TV while supplies last. Frank Roll Furniture Black Friday sale, best seats in the house.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half-price. And all beers on tap are half-price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Attention, Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you're an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Renting Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendinitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Renting Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Joe, for the record, gets it from the corner. Isaiah with the three. That's his 103rd of the year. And he sets an Arkansas record for made three-point baskets in a season.
All right, we're going to get to what Barry Lunny Jr. thinks about what the next Arkansas head football coach should be in just a sec. But first, I want to tell you about Road Chevrolet. It's not November right now at Rhodes. It is Yes-Vember. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren is inviting you to come see their best inventory yet. Black Friday pricing all month long. You got savings up to $13,000 on a new 2019 Silverado Z71. It's over 25% off. New Blazers with up to $6,000 off. When it comes to finding your new vehicle, the best place to look is at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. They'll have the prices you love and the people you can trust. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, find new roads, see dealer for details. So Barry Lunny Jr. was asked earlier this week, what should be the qualifications for the next head coach at Arkansas by Tom Murphy? Here's what he had to say.
I think you have to recruit. That's always the deal. I mean, you got to recruit. I think more than that, it's evaluation and developmental. I mean, I think those are critical aspects of that. You got to recruit. You got to swing hard. You got to tighten up your radius. I think Chad had a really good plan and model in that regard. Tighten up your radius. But at the end of the day, you better evaluate and you better develop them.
So I agree with what Barry said about Chad. In terms of recruiting, Chad did a good job. Now, you can bash Chad Morris all you want for the product that was put on the field. I'm completely okay with that. 2 and 10 seasons that he should be credited for, even though he hasn't been the head coach in weeks. That's fine. That's okay. I get that. The on-field product is not what it should have been, and there was no sense of improvement that you felt like. But he knew what he was doing on the recruiting trail. So now you have to kind of look to some of Chad Morris's strengths. And again, there's a lot more cons to Chad Morris than there is pros based on what happened at Arkansas. But there are some good things you can take away of Chad Morris's tenure, and the recruiting is really the biggest thing. So Eric in Hot Springs, he was texting on the Cherokee Casino hotline. His concern for Leach is the defense. And Arkansas has had really bad defense under Chad Morris, so I get that. I get that you want someone to come in and shore up that defense. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a defensive-minded guy, but you have to hire a defensive coordinator and a defensive staff that can compete in this league. And I actually put this out when John Chavis was hired. I thought his best days were behind him. Now, I don't pretend like my football acumen can even touch his or any other coach in the league for that matter, but I just felt like that he was over the hill, that he was done. And I think it's fair to say that I and so many others were right based on what this defense has done this year. But Eric's right. You need a defense to go along with if you hire an offensive coach, which is fine, and that's expected. Like, you can't have what you have this year where the offensive guy was supposed to come in and deliver you big points, big numbers, that not happen, and the defense be horrendous. You can't have that. The Arkansas connection that people seem to be so infatuated with. Barry Lane Jr., obviously, Fort Smith connection, Bentonville connection, played at Arkansas. There's that, so people seem to think he's a candidate. I don't think he is. I'd be curious, though, if you asked him if he would actually tell you the truth, if he wants the job. Does he think he can handle the job? Never been a head coach. Does he think that he would be a good fit? Now, I think just for looking at it, you say former quarterback at Arkansas, ties to the state. A lot of fans like, yeah, it'd be a good fit. That doesn't mean he could do it, though. But I'd be curious to get his personal take on it. Some guys are just meant to be assistants, which is fine. Like, I'm curious if Chad Morris, wherever he goes next, if he's just going to be an OC somewhere, which he was a really good offensive coordinator and has shown that he's mediocre or less as head coach. Mediocre at SMU, terrible at Arkansas. There's nothing wrong with that. Some guys are just not born to be head coaches. That's okay. You need plenty of OCs. You need plenty of DCs. You need plenty of assistants. What does Barry Leonard Jr. think about himself? What does Hunter Yurachek? I think that ship has sailed based on what happened at LSU, but maybe things take a turn on Friday if they beat Missouri. Is he actually in consideration for that job? Matt Luke, Ed Orgeron, Dabo Swinney, those are some interim names that have gotten tossed around. Now, Luke, I'm curious to see how much longer he lasts at Ole Miss. LSU looks like they've got their guy. Clemson definitely has their guy. So I don't know. It's a good question. But Chad Morris didn't develop his guys at Arkansas quick enough. I don't know what would happen if he was here another year based on the trajectory. Probably nothing. It's probably not going to be that much. But you went with the up-and-comer in Chad Morris. You went with the proven head coach. And people say, oh, Chad didn't fully buy in. Family lived in Texas. Mrs. Paula, Chandler. Chad didn't fully buy in. Where do you go now? What do you do if you're Hunter Yurachek? Now, I know he okayed the Chad Morris hire, but didn't actually make it. JCP, Julie Cromer-Peoples. Where does he go now? Because the last two have been completely opposites, not only in philosophical differences, but in how they were presented to the college football world and the Arkansas fan base. And Clay, I thought, delivered when I asked him the question. Does Hunter Yurachek get any credit based on what Eric Musselman's done so far? And it may be the slightest bit, but football's a standalone. Nick Mason and I got into it a little bit because it's a good question. What happens if this next coach, and I guess it just depends on the degree of failure that we're talking about. What happens if this next coach just blows up? You can call or text in 877-377-6963. And I'm not talking about the good type of blow up where you're instantly on the national landscape because you put together a really good season and upset or two. I'm talking a Chad Morris type. What happens if you have a decent, mediocre couple years under Brett Bielema, like a similar situation, and let go? I would think that Hunter Yurachek keeps working here, right? But the question needs to be asked because every AD in America knows that their biggest responsibility as an athletic director is to nail that football coach hire if they are presented with one. Now, if they have their guy, like Greg Byrne, who came in Alabama, maybe A&M was where he's from. AD at Alabama. I can't remember. I think that's where he's from, but I could be wrong. Brent's going to look that up. But he just inherited Nick Saban. Now, I know it's not exactly the easiest thing to be working with Nick Saban. If you're Greg Byrne, you are basically dwarfed at every single staff luncheon, every single meet and greet by Nick Saban, your football coach. And you're supposed to be his boss. But everyone knows that Nick Saban runs that school in terms of the athletic department. He gets whatever he wants. There's very little give and take when it comes to Alabama and Nick Saban. He's the king of that state. Is that right, A&M? Okay, that's what I thought. So, if you're Hunter Yurachek, Muss looks good. I don't know if he's going to be great, but Muss looks good. So you got to be happy about that. But are you satisfied enough? And then also, let's say Muss, and again, I want to caution people on this because everyone's acting like we have God's gift of man in Eric Musselman. I think he's a good coach, but they're acting like he's going to lead Arkansas to Final Fours and national championships. And I caution you to pump the brakes a little bit when it comes to that. because we still don't know yet. We're 6 games into his tenure at Arkansas. What happens if Eric Musselman, all of a sudden, and this is all conjecture, this is all hypotheses at this point, what happens if Eric Musselman takes this team, not Nolan Richardson-esque, but a little step below that, where they're getting to Sweet 16s, Elite Eights, maybe a Final Four in his tenure? What happens to that? Are you as a fan base going to turn on Hunter Yurachek if he misses on this next football hire? Or does he get another one after this? Does he get another chance? And again, it depends on what happens with Eric Musselman, what happens with this next football coach, if he is good, bad, mediocre. It depends on where that falls. Luckily, the baseball, I don't think Dave Van Horn's going to retire soon, so you're always going to have a good baseball team. You want to talk about consistency? You go from Norm to Dave. Those are your 2 coaches since like the 70s. That's nice. Can't say the same about the football or basketball program, which is tough. I think it's higher. Or it's harder to be successful when you're having so much turnover. Alabama's kind of the exception to the rule. All right, Rashad from North Little Rock texted on the Cherokee Casino hotline. He says, if you hired Leach, you should go get the Utah DC. I don't know who Whittingham's DC is. That's a good question, Rashad. I know, obviously, Kyle Whittingham's the head coach. That's Lisa in Northwest Arkansas's Northeast, not Northwest. Northeast Arkansas's favorite candidate, even though that's not going to happen. So I don't know whose DC is. But, yes, you do need to hire a good, worthwhile DC if you're Mike Leach. And that's all contingent upon if he wanted to go to Arkansas. And we're going to talk about another candidate next, in Justin Fuente. Dan Wolken, USA Today, wrote about why he thinks he would be a good fit in Arkansas and why there's a possibility there. But again, this is all hearsay. This is not, I don't think there's a lot of facts being implemented in those stories a little bit. It's just hard. This is a tough situation for reporters, national and local, when it comes to finding out who the next Arkansas head football coach is, based on the fact that Hunter Yurachek seems to keep things tight. All right, it's Thanksgiving. You need a beer. Coors Light. Coors Light, it doesn't get colder than this. Cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. They take pride in making it the world's most refreshing beer. It's got that crisp taste. When you see the mountains are blue, you always go for 2, and you know your beer is as cold as the Rockies. All right, coming up, we're going to talk some more stuff. Justin Fuente, Missouri. We're going to talk about Missouri on Friday, and a lot more. Stay with us on Halftime.
We wish you happy holidays from Breeden RV in Van Buren, where the year-end clearance sale continues. The holidays can be stressful. Why not take that stress away with the newer used RV? We'll even jingle your bells by letting you pick your deal. Sales tax paid, no payments for 6 months, holiday cash back, more for your trade. You choose the deal that's best for you. Remember, every new RV comes with Breeden's exclusive free maintenance for life.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Thanks, Eddie. Come see us on Elma Highway in Van Buren or visit us on the web at BreedenRV.com.
See dealer for details.
Always get more at Orr.
The year-end clearance offers at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith are so big. It's like Black Friday meets Cyber Monday meets after Christmas sale, all rolled into one. Like 20% off new 2019 half-ton Silverados. That's 20% off all trim levels, even if you want a high country model. Looking for a crossover SUV under 20 grand? Or Chevy's got them. The new 2019 Chevy Trax is clearance priced at $19,643. Or if you'd rather save big on a 2020 model, Or Chevy is taking $6,000 off 2020 Chevy Equinoxes. Plus, with any new vehicle sold, Or Chevy will give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So find new roads and save 20% off a 2019 Silverado today at the River Valley's favorite, Or Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive under the giant American flag. All offers with approved financing through GMF. Surf OrChevyFS.com for more details. And remember,
You always get more at Orr.
The second location for Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is now open. Located on the east side of town on Phoenix Avenue, next to Dollar General and across from Interstate Batteries. Serving that award-winning Memphis-style barbecue and all your favorite sides, Monday through Saturday, 11 till 8. Pickup orders for Whole Hog Cafe Phoenix Avenue can be placed at 646-2495 or at WholeHogFortSmith.com. Whole Hog Cafe's second location on Phoenix Avenue is now open.
When was the
last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney of Family Dentistry. They take care of it all: crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Strong cold fronts will be moving on out as the night goes on. Any showers and thunderstorms will be tapering through the wee hours of the morning. Very windy conditions, though, and our lows are falling from the upper 30s to near 40. Expecting dry weather throughout our Wednesday with highs upper 40s north, mid 50s further south. More showers by Wednesday night. I'm Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on at OGE.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bush and Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
Hey, guys, enjoy your show. Out of all the sports programs in the state, I really enjoy y'all the most.
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya, D-Mac. Hold on, Matt Ryan. D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
wide
it?
Open again.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All righty, one more hour till Thanksgiving break, essentially, for me. It's Ty Richardson, Britton Jennings run the board. 877-377-6963 is our Cherokee Casino hotline here on Halftime. Again, Phil Elson is in the Bahamas. He will not be back with us until Monday. He's got a women's basketball tournament down there. And traditionally, Phil's Thanksgiving have included calling road basketball games, tournaments. This is one of the best college sport weeks of the year. You think about Feast Week in college basketball, Rivalry Week in college football. This is a great week if you're a college sports fan. Coming up on Halftime, we're going to talk Justin Fuente. That's who Dan Wolken thinks has a good chance of ending up as the Arkansas head coach, USA Today writer. Going to talk college football playoffs. Those rankings were released last night. Herbie, once again, hurt Arkansas fans' feeling by the way he called Arkansas Arkansas. Also going to talk to Bill Keene, Nashville Sports Radio, college football. That's going to be coming up at the bottom of the hour at 1:30. Also getting into a few other things, a little Thanksgiving Day prediction or two. So, got that coming up. David in Clarksville texted in on the Cherokee Casino hotline during the break. He said, Ty, the mascot battle breakdown was media gold. Leach would get tons of national coverage just for being quirky in his pressers. He would love to have Leach. Yeah, I think us media members would enjoy it too because he would always say something interesting. I agree 100% there. All right, let's get to this Dan Wolken article. So Dan Wolken is a little bit out there. USA Today writer. Good at what he does. Don't always agree with him. He had some stuff with the Tennessee AD, and he just occasionally says some stuff that I don't agree with, but he's good at his job. So he wrote in a recent article that he thinks Arkansas would prefer a coach who's more proven at the Power 5 level rather than an uppercomer. And he thinks that's Justin Fuente, who's the current sitting head coach at Virginia Tech. He thinks Arkansas is a tougher place to win, but Fuente has deep family ties in his native Oklahoma, which is close. Went to Tulsa Union, played football at Oklahoma as quarterback, then transferred to Murray State. And since Frank Beamer retired, legendary Virginia Tech coach, Beamer Ball is what his teams play. It is dubbed by college football pundits. Fans, Hokies haven't really appreciated the job he's done. And he's making about $4 million a year now. Wolken thinks they could offer him more. I don't know In fact, actually, I do know. The fan base reaction, if Justin Fuente was hired as the head coach, would not be huzzah. There would not be just a ton of joy circling within the fan base if that happened. Is he a good coach? Yeah. Does he have recruiting ties to the state? Yeah. He's an assistant at Illinois State, also TCU. He was the co-offensive coordinator when Andy Dalton and them won the Rose Bowl in 2011 when they beat, I believe, Brett Bielema's, and I'm like 100% sure. In fact, I know it was Brett Bielema's Wisconsin team. Yeah, 2011. Because I think Tank Carter, who was their linebacker, batted a Russell Wilson pass down on a 4th and goal or a 2-point conversion, if I remember that correctly. But he's had some decent quarterbacks. Andy Dalton, he's coached. Paxton Lynch was really good at Memphis when he was the head coach there. And you have the recruiting ties that we talked about. OU, he can recruit Texas. He's got that. And the rebuilding aspect, I know, is something that Julie Cromer-Peoples thought she had in Chad Morris. Didn't end up being the case. Memphis went 2-10, 1-11, and 2-10 before he took the job. It's a great stats found by Trey Biddy, who does Hog Hustle here on Tuesday nights. That's a great pickup by him. So you're getting a guy that helped resurrect Memphis football. Now, Norvell has kept it more than afloat, and he's done a good job of keeping what Fuente started, but Norvell did not rebuild Memphis. Fuente did. Now, he didn't rebuild Virginia Tech because Frank Beamer had a pretty solid foundation, but it was plateaued. He'd been there for so long. I remember there's this great picture of Frank Beamer, him pumping his fist. I think it was 0-0 against Wake Forest, them heading to overtime. He's excited about that. He's won at least 9 games in 6 seasons as a head coach. So he's a pretty good, pretty solid, a little above mediocre. I think he'd be a decent fit. It's not like his buyout's incredibly crazy. It's $3 million. He's making $4 million. He'd probably get paid more in Arkansas. He's got a career record of 138 and 88. He's 33 and 18 at VTech. I know the ACC is not the best. I get that. In fact, the ACC is probably the worst Power 5 conference. In fact, it is the worst Power 5 conference. If you can name the second best team outside of Clemson, then you really know your college football, because I can't. It's probably Virginia Tech. In fact, they're probably going to play Clemson in the ACC championship. That's kind of what the potentials you're looking at. And again, I've said this. I don't know about these ties, these connections, these findings, how true they are. I'm just telling you what people across the national collegiate landscape are saying, and then the ones locally. We're just kind of reporting the information and kind of divvying out what these coaches have done. But no one has any personal connection. I don't know. I don't think within the Arkansas media to Justin Fuente. Maybe there's something I don't know about. I just don't see it. But that's an interesting connection. I just don't think that wows Arkansas fans. If you want to call or text in on the Cherokee Casino hotline, give your opinion, 877-377-6963. Greg from Mulberry says, guys, I understand why Sam Pittman isn't a hard target because of his lack of head coaching experience. And I know I've asked this before, but how can you get head coaching experience if you're never given the opportunity? Hope you all have an awesome Thanksgiving from the Roberts family to my local ESPN family. Greg, appreciate it, man. You have a happy Thanksgiving as well. My dad used to tell me the story, pharmaceutical rep. When he was going around looking for a job, and he worked at GlaxoSmithKline for a number of years, somewhere like Pfizer, big-time things, and he was asked that exact same question. Well, you don't have any experience, Brad. Well, yeah. Of course I don't. Out of college. Why not give me the opportunity to succeed? That's a good question. That's like in my field, it was instrumental for me to have internships, be working with John in college and level up. So I can point to prior experience and stuff. I know that sports radio is not the same equivalent in terms of toughness and stuff on the spectrum as a college football head coach. But, Greg, that's a good question. You're never going to get any head coaching experience until you get that. I just think that you have to be just an incredible DC, an incredible OC to make that jump. Arkansas right now is a very tough job. And to come and inherit what you are going to get in the climate of the SEC West is very difficult. I don't know. And again, I don't know him that well. I know Clay has spoke high volumes about him. I know Dudley has as well. to what he is as an offensive line coach, but there's a whole difference between offensive line coach and coach of an SEC program. It's a whole different story. All right, let's go to the Cherokee Casino hotline, 877-377-6963. Paul is in Red Oak. Paul, what's going on? You're on halftime, man.
Hey, how we doing?
We're okay, Paul. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Hey, my question is, do you think all these social media podcasts hurts our recruiting in any sport?
You said social media podcast? What do you mean?
No, like everybody, I ain't going to mention any, but like a lot of people are putting pages out there on Facebook and YouTube and all these podcasts where you get all these fans that's actually dogging in any sport, our kids or coaches. Do you think when the kid comes in or looking at Arkansas as in recruiting, do they look at that and do they want to step into something like that? Shoot, I see a lot of, even basketball, you see a lot of these channels and pages are talking down upon our basketball team already. We're 6-0.
I haven't seen any of the basketball, Paul. Appreciate the call. I don't think it would help when recruits see that fans are dogging their supposed team. But it's across the board in college football, man. All fans criticize their team in some way, shape, or another. Alabama fans were saying to fire Nick Saban after the LSU loss. It's college football, man. All right, happy holidays from Breeden RV and Van Buren. End of the year clearance sales going on right now. It's continuing. Holidays can be stressful. Let them take that stress away with a newer used RV. They'll jingle your bells by letting you pick your deal. Sales tax paid, no payment for 6 months, holiday cash back, and so much more for your trade. See Breeden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren or visit them online at BreedenRVs.com. Coming back with more halftime.
Shooters shoot. You're listening to Halftime. This is the Morning Rush.
I get sick and tired of hearing all these national media members think that Arkansas was wrong for firing Chad Morris. Do they watch this season at all? Do they watch any games this year? Arkansas lost to San Jose State at home. They lost to Western Kentucky, got blown out by them at home. I don't know what team they've been watching this season, but to me it is completely and totally justifiable for firing Chad Morris.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
You always get more at Orr.
The year-end clearance offers at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith are so big. It's like Black Friday meets Cyber Monday meets after Christmas sale. All rolled into one. Like 20% off new 2019 half-ton Silverados. That's 20% off all trim levels. Even if you want a high country model. Looking for a crossover SUV under 20 grand? Or Chevy's got them. The new 2019 Chevy Trax is clearance priced at $19,643. Or if you'd rather see big on a 2020 model, Or Chevy is taking $6,000 off 2020 Chevy Equinoxes. Plus, with any new vehicle sold, Or Chevy will give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So find new roads and save 20% off a 2019 Silverado today at the River Valley's favorite, Or Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive under the giant American flag. All offers with approved financing through GMF. Surf OrChevyFS.com for more details. And remember,
You always get more at Orr.
Happy Thanksgiving from the crew at World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. Nothing would make a better holiday gift this year under the tree at Christmas than a new tailgater. Ben, you got them for $49 with new activation with DISH right now.
I promise you, any football fan, any husband that loves hunting, anybody that goes into the wilderness or camps, goes to soccer games on this weekend with their kids, is going to want a tailgater so you can keep up with all your sports. $250 off this weekend only.
What about a customer who's already activated on DISH, happy customer, but love a tailgater to add to what they have?
50% off. So if you're a new customer, you can get $250 off, less than $49 when you sign up for service. If you already have DISH, that's okay. If you already have DISH, come in and see us. Half off, less than $300, it'll be $150. $149. So $300 is normally what these sell for. $150 off, so that's 50% off this weekend, Black Friday. Shop Small Business Saturday here at World of Wireless.
877-305-DISH or stop into the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Get a tailgater from World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code. Lesson 42. This is how you say happy hour. It's happy hour. Let's go get some Bud Lights. That's it for today.
Brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light. Crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Looking for a bit of cowboy flavor? Introducing Hardee's Southwest Patty Melt. A hearty sandwich with all the taste of the great American Southwest. We're talking a hotter, juicier, thick burger made with 100% black Angus beef, pepper jack cheese, zesty Santa Fe sauce, and enough pickled jalapenos to give it a kick. If it got any more authentic, we'd have to serve it with a cactus and a side of tumbleweeds. The Southwest Patty Melt. Now at Hardee's. Available for a limited time after regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's. Hotter and juicier beef patty as compared to the Hardee's original beef patty.
Our Black Friday event continues this week at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren. Hi, this is David Neal inviting you to save over 25% on a new 2019 Silverado Z71. That's up to $13,000 in savings and save up to $6,000 on new Chevy Blazers. And I'd like to personally invite you to come in this Friday for free food and soft drinks to let us say thank you for your business. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. Find new roads.
See dealer for details.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Time running down. Arkansas having trouble getting out. USC with the play. It's in! It's in! USC! Let's see. Do they say it counts? It's all over. Arkansas has defeated Louisville. USC hitting from half court. And it's a 1-point incredible victory for the Razorbacks.
So 1, 2, 3, take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine.
All right, we are one day away from one of the best holidays of the year in Thanksgiving. Good time to get back with your family, sit by the fire, eat way too much, watch way too much football. It's a good week, though. It's a good week to see family members and just have a good old Danley time. And kind of during this holidays, there's a bunch of deals and sales going on. And that's happening right now at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren. It's not November, it is Yes-Vember. Come check out their best inventory yet. Black Friday specials all month long. Savings up to $13,000 on a new Silverado Z71. Over 25% off. They have Chevrolet Blazers with up to $6,000 off. So when it comes to finding your new vehicle, there's only one place to go. That's Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. They'll have the prices you love and the people you can trust. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, find new roads. So we can go a couple of different directions with this. I think we're going to stick with the college football playoff talk. You have the ESPN put out their show last night like they do every Tuesday night. You'll have the show next Tuesday. That'll be from 7 to 7:30. And then after that will be the selection show, the final selection show, which is December 8th, which is a Sunday. And it's at 11 o'clock Central Time, as that was written. I double-checked it on a couple different sites. 11 o'clock Central, which I thought was really early. Is what it was. We'll get to what Herbie called Arkansas sec, but we'll do the playoff rankings first. Ohio State jumped out, or LSU. They're at number 1. LSU's number 2. Clemson's at number 3. Georgia's at 4. Bama's at 5. The Utah Utes are at 6. OU's at 7. Minnesota's at 8. Baylor's at 9. Penn State at 10. So I don't get the LSU dropping from number 1 to number 2. And I know the running joke as of late has been Arkansas knocked off the number 1 team in the country, even though they got blasted 56-20 on Saturday night. You got wins at Texas versus Florida and Auburn and at Alabama. The best win in college football is going to Tuscaloosa and Joe Burrow and those boys pulling it out. Now, I know Ohio State has some good wins. Cincinnati's lost one game all season. They beat Penn State. They beat Wisconsin. They beat Sparty. Sparty's not as good as they have been in years past. But those games have been at home. Now you go to the Big House, Michigan this weekend, which, again, it's not going to be Alabama-esque traveling there, but it's a big rivalry game, and I know Jim really wants to pull off his first win, beating Clarksville, Texas. Time to crumple up the next stat sheet on the Cherokee Signal Hotline. I don't have that. Phil already did it earlier this week, B. So I just don't see how Ohio State jumped him. And I know that you folks listening hate LSU. But I think he might hate Ohio State more. And I think you give LSU a little more respect since they play in the SEC. LSU should still be the number one football team in the country. I don't get the criteria for the College Football Playoff Committee moving Ohio State above LSU. Even though, listen, if LSU hadn't had that win against Bama, I would understand that. But that is the best win in college football this year. And there's not a win that comes close to that. To going into Nick Saban's house and coming out with a win. Something that Hugh Freeze was able to do as well. Which is just still weird to me. Who's going to play spoiler this weekend, y'all? Who's going to somehow, some way, and it's not just this week, but the next 2 weeks, because you got conference championships coming up too. Who's going to spoil a college football playoff contender? It's going to be A&M in Death Valley? I doubt it. Can Michigan, the Wolverines, Big Blue Nation, can they finally beat Ohio State under Harbaugh? They've been playing some good football lately, but I doubt it. What about South Carolina? Tavion Feaster, he used to play running back for Clemson. Is he going to get a revenge game? Probably not. Georgia Tech? Georgia? No. Auburn, Alabama? Think Mac Jones can handle it in Jordan Stadium? In the Iron Bowl? You think he's up for the task? Well, if Auburn had looked better offensively this year, I'd say maybe you'd have a case. But probably not. No. Oklahoma State, going to Bedlam this weekend. Going to see Matt and Andrew Hall and our buddies at Bell Point Beverage. Going to go watch the game with my aunt, who told me that. So, daughter went to OU. Son-in-law went to OU. My uncle went to Arkansas, but he usually cheers on OU. And then my grandmother is more of an Arkansas fan, but she kind of sides with Oklahoma. She's like, I can't stand to watch the Oklahoma game with them. Oklahoma State. So, she had to get out of the house for that. So that's why I'm getting to go to the game, and I'm excited about that. This will be my first Bedlam game. Been to Stillwater. Great place to watch not only a college football game, but a college basketball game as well. Great on that. So can any of those teams play spoiler this weekend? Colorado plays Utah. Can they be a spoiler this weekend? I think Oregon's still going to play Utah in the Pac-12 championship. Can they be a spoiler? Can Justin Herbert spoil Kyle Whittingham's chances of potentially getting to a college football playoff? I'd be hard-pressed to think that any of those teams that I just listed out would win this weekend, but I think there's a lot more likeliness of something happen in those title games next week, especially, Georgia, LSU, Minnesota maybe. Can they compete with Ohio State in that Big Ten championship? They got to beat Wisconsin this weekend to get there. So let's see what that happens. Can Bama sneak into the college football playoff with Oregon losing? The potential of Utah losing? What happens in the Big 12 championship with Oklahoma? Oklahoma's got to go to Bedlam this weekend. Then they'll play Baylor in Dallas in Jerry World for the Big 12 championship. What's going to happen there? Can Baylor jump into the college football playoff if they beat Oklahoma after losing to a game that I was at in the most excruciating way possible? Or is the only Big 12 scenario where a team gets in is that Oklahoma if they beat Baylor again and then get to the college football playoff? Is that the only scenario you could see out? Again, next Tuesday, 6 to 6:30. And then the following Sunday, December 8th, 11 a.m. So make sure you're up early for that. Because those are the rankings you're going to want to see. I'm excited. We have a thrilling next couple weeks in college football. This is where it heats up. Again, if you are a college football and college basketball fan, this is the best week outside of postseason for you. Because it's rivalry week in college football and it's feast week in college basketball. You have tournaments. You typically have really good games in the college basketball circuit. It is a great combination for us both. All right, let's go to the Cherokee Casino hotline. Let's go to the first one. Got a text out of the 217. It said, Ty, with all the Texas recruits on the team now and the lack of production, including the 3 QBs from Texas and its Texas coaching staff, do we put too much time into what we have with Texas talent? 217, I don't think so. Arkansas, you look at every single Arkansas football teams over the years, and I know everyone listening hates the University of Texas and really the state of Texas itself. A bunch of my friends are from Texas, but they're cocky you-know-whats. So I understand that line of thinking. This program absolutely needs Texas. We'll speak with Bill Keene, the King of College Football, about that next. He'll tell you the exact same thing. He is far superior in his football knowledge, particularly college football knowledge, than I am. This program will always need Texas. Frank Broyles would have told you that. If he were alive today, he would tell you that, how important the state of Texas is to this state. Now, you can say, well, the team hasn't looked good with a lot of Texas players that year. It's more of the on-the-field coaching stuff that hasn't produced, because you got the talent at some areas. Again, I want to put an asterisk by you have the talent. You have the talent to compete, because you're still I think 24/7 had you at 22nd best recruiting class in the country, like mid-20s, Rivals, ESPN, 24/7. So you can compete, but don't act like you're superior or close to Alabama, because you're not, or Georgia, or A&M. But there was enough talent in this roster to at least compete. Now, we'll see if it can be developed, because, again, you got a lot of the young talents that are freshmen. So, it's just tough. It's tough. All right, Justin texted in on the Cherokee Casino hotline. He said, rank who gets the job 1 to 5 being the best. So he's listed out Matt Campbell, Iowa State, Mike Leach, Washington State, Lane Kiffin, FAU, Justin Fuente, Virginia Tech, and Mike Norvell. It's a tough one, man. So Matt Campbell's done a tremendous job at Iowa State. Again, he was the guy that came into Little Rock and beat you as the Toledo head coach. Leach has won in very weird places in Pullman and Lubbock. Lane Kiffin is an offensive guy that's known as a savant in this industry, but seems like he's having a good time in Boca as a single dad. I think I would want his job, because there's no pressure associated with him. Yes, there's an inclination sometimes in the back of your mind that you want to compete at the highest level, but he's got a pretty cush gig, if you ask me. Justin Fuente, I don't know how much respect he gets from the VTech fans. Does he want to move back closer to home? Tulsa's an hour and a half from Fayetteville. Before he played high school ball, Tulsa Union. Does he want to move back home? The Norvell stuff, maybe I'm just reading into it too much. I just don't think he's coming anymore. It's what it sounds like. It's just what it sounds like to me. Thanks for the question, Justin. What are you doing for Christmas? We at ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com are giving away a Branson Christmas trip, courtesy of the Branson Convention and Visitors Bureau. Just go to HitThatLine.com, top of the page, a black tab on the front of it. It's got the white lettering. 3 nights at a Hilton Hotel in Branson, tickets to a Christmas show, North Pole Adventure at the Shepherd Hills Park, Christmas Ferris wheel ride at the Track Family Fun Park, and Branson Restaurant gift cards. You get here once daily at HitThatLine.com. Name, email address, phone number. That's it. You got to be 21 or older. The last day is December 10th. All right, coming up, Bill Keene, the King of College Football, Nashville Sports Radio. He joins us next. We got a lot to talk about.
The best midday show in the Natty State. You're listening to Halftime with Bill Elson and Ty Richardson.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Checking in live during Randall Ford's big Trucks Giving Sales event and Black Book Friday sale going on now. Customers continue to pull into the parking lot to take advantage of Randall Ford, giving you up to $3,000 over the average Black Book value for your trade, depending on the purchase price of the vehicle. Now, no trade? No problem. How about owner-based pricing on all new vehicles through the end of the month? Stop in today and take advantage of the Trucks Giving Sale and the Black Book Friday sale going on now at Randall Ford.
The list of things I rely on is short. There's my recliner, the lawnmower, the kid sitter, and above all, Michelin tires. Get the tire that's ready to make every stop in every season. And for a limited time, get yours with a $70 reward card after submission when you buy a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Your Michelin tires and savings are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith.
See MichelinMan.com promo for complete details. Offer valid between 11/13/2019 and 12/13/2019. Void where prohibited.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
You've worked hard your whole life anticipating the day you could finally retire. If that day is near, there are 5 things you need to do. Spend wisely, understand your retirement plan distribution options, plan for your required minimum distributions, know your Social Security options, and consider phasing. Call Brad Lewis at United Financial Advisors to discuss these steps in detail at 242-7466 or through our website at ufadvisors.net.
Securities and advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates, member FINRA SIPC. United Financial Advisors is a marketing destination.
Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold? 3 times. It's that cold. So make sure the mountain on your can of Coors Light is blue, because that means it's ready to enjoy. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown!
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts, we're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Derek Hood, Kareem Reed, Pat Bradley, Lance Keeling. Senior night, a success.
Joined in just a sec by Bill Keene, the king of college football, as we are one day away from Thanksgiving. There's a bunch of you that are going to be getting some cold ones for you and your family members, and there's only one destination, one option. That's Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. It's not going to get colder in Coors Light. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged, that perfect, crisp taste. It's packaged at the peak of freshness, and you have the cold activated can. When the mountains turn blue, you know your beer is as cold as the Rockies. There's only one beer to pair with Thanksgiving this year, and that's an ice-cold Coors Light. Bill Keene, king of college football, joins us now, as he does every Wednesday. Bill, what you got planned for Thanksgiving, man? You got the kiddos, I know. Bunch of kids coming back in town?
Yeah, well, my daughter's playing basketball, so she can't because that's holidays aren't about coming back. But yeah, we'll have a bunch of them, and we're going to cook about 4 turkeys. So we're good, man.
Let's go. All right. So we were talking about it before you came on, Bill. There is a bunch of potential upsetters that want to strike hot while they can this weekend. A bunch of college football implications, not only this weekend, but obviously championship weekend as well. Of all the potential upsets that could knock out college football playoff contenders, which one do you think is the most likely this weekend?
Well, probably if you want to call Auburn and Alabama, maybe that one. It's only about a 3-point spread, and it's at Jordan-Hare. So I don't know if that would be a huge upset. No two, as we all know. But that one is one that would certainly eliminate Alabama. Alabama might be on the outside looking in, as they are. I still think they've got a chance to get in with some chaos. But that one, I don't think Michigan's going to beat Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin, Minnesota is the biggest game between those two teams in decades, literally dating way back, because the winner wins the Big Ten West. That's a big matchup. Bedlam, the mullet typically doesn't win Bedlam. He's only won 2 out of 14 as a head coach. I'm not sure I see one that's clear.
So, Bill, I will actually be at Bedlam this weekend. My aunt is an Oklahoma State grad, big-time Cowboys fan, and she, her daughter and son-in-law went to Oklahoma, so she did not want to watch it with Oklahoma fans. So, in terms of rivalries go, what I'm about to experience, where does that stack up against some of the other rivalries in college football?
Bedlam, I don't know. I don't think it's on the A list. the two best rivalries are Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, and I think those separate G-word greatly from all the others. And some of the ones that ought to be fantastic, like Miami, Florida State, don't carry any oomph anymore. Notre Dame, Southern Cal used to be a huge thing. They still play every year, but it's not consistent either. I don't know that any come close to those two. Texas, Oklahoma, of course, the Red River shootout is huge still, even though Texas is now 6-5. I'm probably leaving. I tell you, an underrated one is the backyard brawl, which they don't play every year, and that's Pittsburgh, West Virginia. That's a bigger game than people think.
Eat, bleep, pit. My cousin went to West Virginia for a little bit, and that was
Right.
their favorite phrase to say. So I remember her teaching me that at a young age. Talking with Bill Keene, covers college football, Nashville Sports Radio, 6 to 9 every weekday. Bill, if you had your druthers for the college football playoff 4, who would you put in through this amount of the season?
I would have the three that we've talked about are very easy. You would have LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, and then the debate would be in the 4 slot, and I would have either Georgia or Alabama in, is the way I would do it. Probably right now I would have Alabama in. I don't know if it would hold. If Georgia wins out, they're in. And so they've still got a chance, but that's probably what I would do. And I think many would disagree. A lot of people were saying they wouldn't have Alabama in. I would. In the 4 slot.
Okay. So we have a decent amount of Oklahoma Sooner fans. We obviously broadcast in Oklahoma. I'm sure they're wondering the same question I have. Why not the Sooners?
The Sooners to date lost to Kansas State in a game. They were down big. They came back and had a chance, onside kick there. I wouldn't have them in right now. I don't think the body of work is as impressive as Alabama. And the other thing is I'm big on the look test. I think Alabama's more balanced than Oklahoma. Oklahoma's defense is actually falling apart the last several weeks. Now, Alabama, are they as good as they need to be defensively? No, but they're better than Oklahoma.
I think it's fair. I think people were really excited about Alex Greenwich's D early on, and then, like you said, the Kansas State game, I want to say they gave up 7 straight scores to the Wildcats, and if it weren't for a really good performance, they would have lost to Baylor this past weekend ago. They to me, I just have a hard time seeing, Bill, and we can forecast this a little bit. If they beat Oklahoma State this weekend and then win the Big 12 championship in a repeat matchup against Baylor, I have a hard time seeing the college football playoff committee keeping them out of the college football playoff.
Well, I'll say this. I think the committee, which, again, they won't admit this to us, would prefer not to have 2 SEC teams, and they want the appearance of balance. So whether it's Utah, because Oregon just had an ugly loss, whether it's Utah or Oklahoma, I think they would be inclined to look into that as an alternative. Now, the problem they'll have is, let's say Georgia beats LSU, but it's a close game. LSU's got the 1 loss. Their body of work all year long has been exemplary. Then you've got a problem because you've got Georgia winning the league outright, and you have LSU that's got to still be in. I think that might eliminate anything west of the Mississippi.
I think that's fair. Because LSU, we were talking about this earlier, Bill. LSU is the best win in college football. You go to Nick Saban's house and beat him straight up. Like there's nothing that can peak with that in the college football spectrum in terms of wins, man.
Right. Right. Well, you put up 46. You've got to lead the entire game. You never look like you were going to lose the game in a game that you haven't won since 2011 against the top program consistently in America. That's impressive.
So, Bill, obviously the main driving point of our show as of late has been the coaching search. We have asked you a couple times about different candidates. Arkansas isn't the only job that's opened. When do you think that we'll see most of these college football coaches announced? After this weekend or after the following weekend in the championship stuff?
Well, see, what makes this a bigger pain is the December signing period, where over 50% of the kids are going to sign. And new guy can't come in and make new relationships. There's no time. But I still say you don't rush to get the hire done because if you don't get the hire right, it doesn't matter about the recruiting. It won't fall into line. I'd say over the next couple of weeks, now, for example, Florida State, some of these services are still putting out this dream that they're in with James Franklin, which I think is ridiculous. That's no more legit than the Bob Stoops thing. And I'm not sure if it's clear who any of these teams are targeting that are legitimate answers that they can legitimately get right now. I'm not sure. I tell you, if I'm one of these teams, I'm telling you, if all else fails, I would take a flyer on Lane Kiffin. I don't think Lane Kiffin is the knucklehead he was 10 years ago, and he's a incredible recruiter.
We've had a couple of people text in on the Cherokee Casino hotline, Bill, about Lane Kiffin, so you might be on their side. All right, 30 seconds on this, Bill. Did you see Duke lose in glorious fashion last night by chance?
No, I missed it. Now, I saw it on Twitter, and it was glorious. That was the greatest moment in all of sports, probably, just last night. And I think most of America was pulling against Duke. That was wonderful.
Is there any like Alabama football, Duke basketball? I don't know if you can't really hate Vanderbilt baseball, but like of those two, like is there anything sports fans can get behind more than Duke losing in basketball, Bill?
Well, historically, Notre Dame when they lose in football, even though they're not the equivalent of what Duke is today in basketball. Historically, they are. They're still a huge worldwide name, and I think lots of fans get excited, but probably not like last night with Duke. Yeah. But when Notre Dame plays, they've got hundreds of millions of enemies pulling against them.
Oh, man. Bill Keene, Nashville Sports Radio. Bill, have a happy Thanksgiving, man. Appreciate our relationship, and I appreciate you coming on every Wednesday.
Yeah, Ty. Thank you, sir.
Bill's one of those guys, again, we talk every week. Bill was instrumental in helping me get to where I am today. He is an absolute savant when it comes to sports radio and especially college football talk. So I'm really appreciative for our relationship and the things he taught me over the years. All right, one more segment of halftime coming up. ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
The best midday show in the Natty State. You're listening to Halftime.
Eagle Crest Golf Course is open, and winter rates are now in effect. Just $35 to enjoy Eagle Crest Golf Course, card included. Winter rates are back, and Eagle Crest is ready for you. Lush zoysia fairways, beautiful bent grass greens, and the best views in the River Valley. Just $35, card included. So get your golf buddies together and head to Eagle Crest Golf Course. Winter rates just $35. Eagle Crest Golf Course, Highway 64, just east of Alma.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
The biggest discounts ever during the Black Friday sales event at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 2019 Ford F-150 regular cab. The lowest price ever, only $19,999. 2019 Ford Escape slashed to $23,750. And the 2019 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive Super Cab, only $29,999. The biggest discounts ever during the Black Friday sales event at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing Altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
Does this sound like you?
Or is this more like it?
Or maybe your inner biker sounds like...
No matter what motorcycle motor is music to your ears, Shelter Insurance has a policy that's music to your wallet.
Shelter insures your fun stuff. Motorcycles to riding mowers, ATVs to RVs, bikes to bass boats. If it rides, rolls, or floats, we can cover it. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call me, Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Or call me, Jim Malum in Charleston.
Hey dads, do you have an athlete in your house that is looking to take their skills to the next level? XL Speed Training at the Fort Smith Athletic Club has the proven results to maximize your athlete's potential. Designed for both male and female athletes of all ages and various sports to improve mobility, endurance, agility, and vertical jump. Take your game to the next level with XL Speed Training. Call Mike Johnson at 479-926-0193. That's Mike at 479-926-0193 at the Fort Smith Athletic Club. Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Listen to the crowd as they cheer Sidney Moncrief. Eddie Sutton and Moncrief on the sideline as Sidney will get a standing ovation here as he wraps up a great home career.
All right, so I got to get in this Herbie clip real quick before we talk about Arkansas, Mizzou. Before I do that, I want to tell you about Breeden RVs. Right now, holiday specials. They are giving you clearance deal specials. Holidays can be stressful. Why not make it easier at Breeden RV? They're going to jingle your bells by offering you a variety of different things. You can pick your deal. Sales tax paid, no payments for 6 months, holiday cash back, more for your trade. You choose the deal that's best for you. And remember, every new RV comes with Breeden's exclusive maintenance for life. You can come see them at Breeden RV in Alma Highway in Van Buren or visit them online at BreedenRVs.com. Ransom and the guys, they'll get you hooked up this holiday season, I promise. So let's get in this Herbie clip. We mentioned the college football rankings being released. We talked with Bill Keane about that. This is what Kurt Herbstreit had to say about LSU's win over Arkansas.
Football team that they beat. Meanwhile, LSU's been, not play. They played Ole Miss and Arkansas last week, and
oh man, oh man. So B in Clarksville texted on the Cherokee Casino hotline. He says, "I totally get Herbstreit mispronouncing our name. He hadn't said our name in 8 to 9 years. Fair, but he has to understand our fan base takes great pride in our name. I guarantee you or our next coach, he will be saying our name correctly more often. You hope so. You hope that." Arkansas is to a point where he gets eviscerated on Twitter and social media for not saying the name right. But he had this to say after he mispronounced it. He said, "This is always for less. I never heard it the way until he said it." And he's putting a bunch of laughing emojis out there. Emojis is the picture for kind of our older audience. So he's like taking your state, how you pronounce it, as a joke. Is he doing this in 2010, 2011? Hell no. Is he doing this in 2006? No. Is he doing this when he comes to College Game Day with Corso and Fowler and the squad? No. But he feels like he can do this because your football program is where it's at right now. It's not a big deal about making fun of Arkansas. They're 2-9. They're about to lose again to Missouri on Friday. So he can say whatever he wants. He's literally laughing while people are ticked off. You can take what you want out of that. It's just the truth. That's not just him. It's Eddie O saying that you shouldn't celebrate at Arkansas. It's different people across the board making fun of the Razorbacks. Why shouldn't they? The only way you get someone to stop making fun of your football program, your state, whatever it may be, is to shut them up on the field. Shut them up on the court. Shut them up on the diamond. When's the last time someone's made fun of the Arkansas baseball program? And you could say the foul ball if you want to get really technical on me. They don't get a lot of criticism. You know why? Because Dave Van Horn is a tremendous coach, and that baseball program is top 5, top 3 in the country. Basketball program? People are excited about Musselman. Now, I don't know if he's going to get back to Nolan. I doubt it, because that level of excellence is so hard in today's day and age. What happens to basketball? No one's going to make fun of Arkansas basketball. Everyone's just going to keep harping on football. Tick, 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 tick. And why shouldn't they? Football team keeps doing what it's doing. I have pride there. I went to school there. I can still make fun of them because of what's happened this year. Now, I don't like to do that. I'd rather talk about a team actually worth something in the Southeastern Conference. But I'm not going to shy away from being critical of a program that is so much in despair compared to where it was 8 years ago. It's a shame. Let's talk about this Missouri game. So I texted Clay last week after the LSU game, before the line came out, just directly after the LSU game that night, said Arkansas would lose 38-24. The line right now is Arkansas is getting 12.5 points in Little Rock at home. The over-under is 53. You look at the scoring on offense, Missouri's offense has really not been good. People are ticked at Derek Dooley, their OC. They're only averaging like mid-20s. Arkansas's a little below that. But the key difference, Mizzou's scoring defense is giving up 19 points a ball game. Arkansas is giving up 38. Now, I mentioned this stat previously during the show. Do you know what Arkansas is ranked scoring defense-wise in college football? 126. That trails only, I guess it's ahead of, not trails, only Louisiana Monroe, Connecticut, New Mexico State, and Massachusetts. Those are the 4 teams that are worse than you defensively, scoring-wise, in college football. It's not going to be the best weather. 51 degrees down there in Little Rock, in the great state capital. Might drizzle a little bit. Precipitation is, I think, 20% at kickoff. Mizzou has been terrible on the road this year. You look at what they lost to Wyoming, some of the other SEC teams. They're 0-4. But Arkansas has not won an SEC game since 2017, and they haven't won a game in 2019 since September. Phil and I are not doing our bets this week. He didn't give me any bets, so we'll resume that next week. But that's where you are right now as a program. That away team that's really not good in Missouri is getting points when they come to your stadium. You look at the 3 of the last 5 losses have been by 7 points or less. Mizzou this year has lost 3 games by 7 points or less. So you can see it being a barn burner. You know, I was headstrong on Arkansas covering over LSU. Not so much the case this week. I don't know if they're going to be able to cover. I think it's going to be a little over 12 points. I think 2 touchdowns is pretty worthy. So I'm sticking my original slate of 13-14. So Mizzou just got their response from the NCAA. They are not going to be bowl eligible. And their lawyer said, in so many little words, this is via CBS Sports, that you shouldn't have cooperated with the NCAA. Never cooperate with the NCAA. If you look at what happened in North Carolina and some other places, it seems like that actually might be the case because Mizzou fully cooperated and still got screwed in the process. There haven't been a lot of positives for Arkansas or Missouri this season, but can one of these teams end their season on a high note? Now, I know it'd be a lot bigger high note for Arkansas than Mizzou because Mizzou is expected to win this football game, but for Arkansas, you're potentially just going to start your 5th straight quarterback this season in Jack Lindsey. We don't know about that. Here's Jack on the LR game.
I always loved the Little Rock game. Little Rock game is one of my favorite games of the year. just so much history there, and then they play the state championship there for Arkansas high school football, so that's important to me, just playing Arkansas high school football. So yeah, I'm excited to get there. I love the Little Rock fans. They do a great job. It's always a really fun atmosphere. So
you have the Little Rock fans, Arkansas fans down there in 501 that are really trying to pump this game up as much as they could, even though there's not a lot of backing for it based on how this team has been this season. But they're trying to outdraw attendance-wise than those in Fayetteville. So we'll see what happens there. Injury-wise, there's some crucial injuries in this battle. For those who haven't heard, Hayden Henry, he's out this season for shoulder surgery. I could say that. And the season is one game because he's not going to participate in this game. So your linebacker depth is about as thin as it's ever been. Bumper Pool, Scuda Harris, and Grant Morgan are going to be your main guys. You might see another one or two, but that's about it. Buster Brown, Monteric Brown, he's still out. They're hoping to get him back, but it's sounding like from Barry Lunny Jr.'s tone, that's not going to happen. Then you look to the other side of the football. Kelly Bryant, the majority of his season, he's been injured. So you obviously have that connection where you thought he almost ended up at Arkansas. He didn't. And now he's playing hampered injuries. He's got, I think it's a knee and a hamstring, if I remember reading that correctly. Maybe it's an ankle hamstring. But there's the possibility that you might see Taylor Powell. So we'll see what happens. There's a connection either way. Obviously, Taylor Powell, an FHS kid. Then two other crucial injuries. Albert Okawumbam is their tight end that's really good. He's questionable for this ball game. Cale Garrett, who's their stud linebacker, he's out for the season. And we know about the mumps that's hurt Arkansas that has affected this football team. Got a couple texts here on the Cherokee Casino hotline. Eric in Hot Springs says the Razorbacks will finally win this game. So Eric is confident about this. Nick says the best thing we have for us is the news that they got from the post-game play. Yeah, I don't know how motivated they're going to be for this game, despite what Barry Odom says. We'll see. Doug in Mount Home wishes me and everyone else a happy Thanksgiving. Doug, you too as well. Hope you have a great time with your family and friends. Text out of the 870, Little Rock is not our stadium. Got a minute left, so luckily I don't have to dive into that conversation. But I will actually, I'm driving, leave about 3 o'clock today, go down to great hometown Little Rock. Parents are moving, so I'm going to help them move a little bit, and I'll actually going to help cover the game for us. We're going to have a little different schedule. Obviously, Thanksgiving, no shows tomorrow. Friday, Morning Rush, Arkansas game day combination. John, Tommy, Matty T, that's going to be from 7 to 10:30. Then we'll have the IMG pregame, the game itself, IMG postgame, and then John and I will be doing Hog Reaction. So we have full coverage for you on Friday at both hitthatline.com and then our video streams as well as ESPN Arkansas across 96.3 Hot Springs Central, Arkansas, 95.3 Fort Smith, River Valley, and then 104.3 Harrison Mountain Home. So, again, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Have a great time with your family. Have a great time with your friends. Watch some football. Eat way too much. You can afford to do that. And if you want to partake in tonight's festivities, if you're my age, if you're 30 years older, if you're 60 years older, do the same as well. It's Thanksgiving. Have fun. It's a great holiday tonight. All right, for Phil Elson, Brendan Jennings, I'm Ty Richardson. We'll see you on Friday, buddies.